Thank you in advance for taking the time to view our content. If you desire and find this content helpful, please like, subscribe, and share.
Hello everyone. We are going to start again with session 3 of our lead generation workshop in this live session, and we're going to start with where we left off last week, and we were talking about creating and connecting our autoresponder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back through the points that we did right before we left off. We talked about making sure that when you connect your AR that your SPF records are in sync. That's really going to be an autoresponder thing and a hosting thing. You'll want to check with your host to make sure that your SPF records are in sync with your autoresponder. You want to test your message with mailtester.com. That's a very important thing to do. MailTester will generally tell you if you have a big problem. In particular, your SPF records and your DKIM. And you don't even have to know what those things mean. I know that sounds like terminology, but if you have a problem, MailTester will show you that you have a problem. And typically, if you have a big problem, it's going to be in those two areas. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that report from MailTester. You're going to go right to your host with it. And they can help you to figure out exactly what you're going to need to do in order to fix it. So again, test your message before you send it out to your subscriber list using mailtester.com. Make sure that your confirmation subject line is not spammy. We went over that last week. We basically went over what you need to do. Aweber and GetResponse, they provide you with some verbiage that you can actually use. I would say in general, you want to use the default settings. You just don't want to put in your list name. You want to make sure it looks like natural language. So again, make sure your confirmation subject line, even your confirmation email, is not spammy. We talked about that last week. Now, when you have a confirmation email, there's a difference between the email that your customer is going to confirm with, where you just tell them, hey, confirm your subscription, and then your first email, which we will talk about tonight. The first email is where you're going to tell them everything about you and your business. You are not going to tell them about that in the confirmation email. The point of the confirmation email is that they need to see something that says, hey, I got this thing before, and now I need to confirm so that I can get what I opted in for. So the first email is where you tell them everything about your business, not the confirmation email. Google tends to be email specific, and what I mean by that is that the emails that go to Gmail in particular through your autoresponder, you can ruin an email using the same email and having that email go to spam. Be careful then about using an email inside your confirmation emails. In fact, if you can use a different email, if you can use a different domain, sometimes that will help you when you start sending emails from a particular email address and domain. And if you can set up a different domain, get the SPF records in sync, get the DKIM in sync, and then use that for your autoresponder, you will not be in danger of actually seeing an email go to spam when you're using your actual sending address. Right? And Google tends to be email specific, so you can actually send different emails from the same domain and not ruin the reputation of that domain. And again, I think I just talked about this. You can help yourself by confirming with a second domain and email address. Right? We went over that a little bit last week, and I think that's it for connecting your autoresponder. Any questions? Okay, there's one more thing. You're going to set up your email address with your host and now with your domain company. We did go over that last week. I showed you how to do that. If you missed that, where you set up your own email address, make sure you go through session 2. Now, what we're going to do this week is we're going to create a thank you page. We're going to create a thank you page, and that's going to be different from the page in which we deliver our actual content. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Now, with the thank you page, you can put an offer on your thank you page. right? You can put an offer on there. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's actually pretty smart. Now, I don't actually do that all the time, in particular when I want somebody, when I know I really want somebody to confirm, but there are cases where you want to make sure that person sees an offer right away. And you can actually do that inside of your thank you page. I'll show you that. What you want to do here is, if you don't have a lot of offers that you've created, you should have your PLR offers installed. And I suggest that you don't do a lot of sending people to your affiliate links on your thank you page. Again, you're trying to build your own business, so don't be quick to send people to an offer that other people have. And I know that you feel like, well, that offer is probably already converting. I don't know if mine converts. I don't know if this PLR offer converts, but still, you want to try to send people to your own domain and to your own offers, because you want to get people used to not only just clicking your links, but then kind of understanding your perspective, understanding your content. So again, get your PLR offers hosted, and then when you start getting people to opt in on your thank you page, you want to have people seeing those offers. Right? And if you don't have one of your own, use your PLR. Now, the thank you page should basically tell your prospects to go and check your email. So your prospect comes to your site, they opt in, and then they're going to see the thank you page. They should see the thank you page right away. This thank you page has one function, right? Even if you put an offer on there, even if you choose to put an offer on there, this page has one function. You got to get those people onto your list. And the only way you're going to get them onto your list is you are going to have to tell them on this page, hey, go and check your email, confirm so you can get your stuff, right? Because people are distracted and they will forget. And you need to tell them that on the thank you page. Now, again, one of the things that you will have probably recognized, Aweber already has one in place. Right? You can definitely use Aweber. So when you opt into an Aweber list, they will send you to the Aweber thank you page, and it'll tell them, right, in order to confirm, you'll need to go to your inbox and confirm. How many of you all have seen that with Aweber, where you get an audio message from Aweber? Right? So if you've seen that, put a number 1 in the question box. You get the audio message, and it says, hey, in order to get this, go ahead and opt in. Again, you can create the very same thing. You don't have to have an audio message. You create the same kind of thank you page. You can actually put an offer on yours, but you got to have one, right? And you got to tell people, hey, go to your inbox and confirm. Now, this is something that, if you're going to do an offer, something that you want to just be aware of. Now, if you are getting clicks to that offer from that thank you page, but you're not getting a high number of opt-ins, take the offer off, right? Because the offer is probably distracting people, and you don't want to distract anybody. I understand in some cases what you want to do is you want to balance between getting people to your offer and getting people in onto your list. And obviously, if they buy something, they're going to end up being on your list. But what you need to do is, if you're not generating leads and people are not buying the offer, then you eliminate the offer until you figure out what's happening with your thank you page. Right? Does everybody understand that? So if you get that, please put the number 2 in the question box if you get that. And if we go inside, now I'm going to use Optimize Press in this case. You do not have to use Optimize Press. What we're going to do is we're going to go inside of here and we're going to create our page. It's going to be an opt-in page. We're going to create a new page here, and we're going to create this page, which is an opt-in page. Again, now this is obviously not going to be a real template, but I'm only doing this so that you can see the thank you page. We're not going to edit this page all the way, but what we're going to do first is we're going to click this link, which is your opt-in content. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this opt-in content from GetResponse. right? So in Optimize Press, it's going to automatically go and get all the lists in Optimize Press or in Get Response. Depending on what your autoresponder is, you should be able to do this inside of any page builder. Now, one of the things you see right up front is that this opt-in box is looking for your thank you page URL. Does everybody see that? So if you see the thank you page, the space for the thank you page URL, please put the number 3 in the question box. If you see the thank you page URL, the space for it. And what we need to do is we need to go and create it, right? So we're going to come back. I'm going to create a brand new page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this page. And I'm going to come to just one of the thank you pages. And this is personally the one that I like most because it is simple. I'm going to name that page Thank You for Signing Up. This is the simplest page, and you want to keep it simple. If you want to do a video, you can, but I just like to say confirm your subscription now for your whatever. We can change this for whatever the giveaway is to creating your first landing page in 5 minutes or less. Your free guide to doing what? Now, what you should say is your free guide to getting some kind of benefit, right? So in other words, in this case, they're going to get a free guide to creating their first landing page in 5 minutes or less. What's the benefit? Doing it fast, right? The benefit is not only am I going to do it once I get this free guide, I'm actually going to be able to do it fast. Now again, I'm not doing strategy in this session, but you do want to make sure you have a headline here that makes people want to click. And if you want to, you can just follow this pattern, right? Follow this pattern. Confirm your subscription now for a free guide to doing something very fast, right? Does everybody understand that? So if you get that, please put the number 4 in the question box if you get that. And the only other thing that's going to be on this page is please check your email for our confirmation email with the subject line response required. That's all that this page does. Now, what you'll see down here at the bottom of this template, right, you don't have to have this. I'm going to say this is optional for the thank you page. This is optional, right? In fact, once you've seen that, you can actually replace this with some kind of offer. So let's say that what you decided to do was you decided to say something like, get our most, let's say our most admired product. And again, you think about that a little bit. We're not doing an extensive thinking job, but okay, get our most admired product. I would then go and get the image. I go and get an image. And let's see, I'm going to just pick up an image here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a little caption in here. I'm going to write a call to action caption, basically. And let's see, what is that about? Increase your affiliate commissions. Now again, I am not saying that you have to pick an affiliate marketing based product to put there. I'm just choosing this one as an example, right? So we're going to write a caption in here, and then we're going to put the link URL on this thank you page. Wherever your page is, we're going to actually put that here. I'm just going to put Google here, and then click Insert. Right, so now what you have is you have a thank you page that tells them, hey, go confirm. If they scroll down, they can actually get your most admired product. I'm going to save this. I'm going to publish it. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so really, all I want them to do is to check their email. I want that to be front and center. I want that to be the most important thing. Now again, if you find out that what's happening is people are clicking on this offer, it's not converting, and you're not getting opt-ins, you ditch the product on the thank you page. It doesn't have to be there. Right? You got plenty of time and opportunities to sell to people once they get on your list. So again, this is a luxury, and if it's working and it's actually giving you income, wonderful. If it is not and you're not getting a lot of opt-ins, then eliminate the product. Does that make sense? So if you get that, please put the number 5 in the question box if you get that. Okay, so again, that's all that page is going to say. Check your email. And so I'm going to take this URL. I'm going to go back to that opt-in page. I'm going to put that thank you page URL in this space. Now I don't do anything with this already subscribed page URL. You can redirect people if you like. I don't do anything with that. I'm just going to click insert. Now here's what's going to happen. So the person is going to opt in, and then they're going to come to the thank you page. So let's see how this actually works. All right, so let's publish this page. Let's view the public link. And then let's put our name and email address in here. And then we're going to get instant access. Now, does everybody see what happened there? This is where we want our thank you page to show up. We want our thank you page to show up as soon as they hit the submit button, and we want the very first message to be go confirm now so you can get your free report. Does that make sense? Again, the product here that they're putting on this thank you page is secondary. It is not the most important thing. And the most important thing is that your list is building and your list is growing. You don't have to have a product on here. Right? We just chose to put one on there. Right? Any questions about that? Any questions? All right, very good. So that's our thank you page. Let's go back to our session here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the delivery page. Now this page can also have an offer. I'm going to actually show you my delivery page that I personally have. I'm going to show you a delivery page. And I'm going to come off screen here. And I'll pick an old one here. And it'll be 1 second. I'm just going to pick a page here that is a download page. And we're just going to slide this over. Okay, so here is a thank you page. Does everybody see that? And all I'm doing here is I'm delivering the content. Now there are a couple of things about this that we are going to talk about here, and let's go through this, and then I'll come back to the delivery page. Now I don't personally do this, but in most cases it's going to be appropriate. It should have your contact and or your social media pages on there. Right? Especially if you have a social media account in which you want people to connect to. Now you don't have to do this. It is going to be something that, again, it's only if you're active on social media. And the reason I don't is because I'm not active on social media. Right now, if you are active running a page, if you are active as an individual, if you are active in your business on social media, then you will want to make sure that on that delivery page, people get your contact and or social media pages at a glance, right? At a glance. Now again, you want to make sure you deliver what you promised them up front. Do not make the prospect hunt for what it is that they opted in for. Let's take a look here. Again, I want to make it as easy as I can for the the person who opted in, I want to make it easy as I can for them to find what they opted in for. Right, so they've got that there, right? So their videos, audios, graphics, and this is probably what I promised them. So they can actually go and get this information just by having come to this page. So that makes sense. Everybody getting this, please put the number 6 in the question box. Okay, don't make your prospect hunt for it. Again, what you're doing is you're establishing a trust right now. And so if you make them hunt for it, then you will, you will dissipate trust. So you want to make sure they opted in. They see this as soon as they actually get the email with it. Now I'm going to actually talk about when they're going to get this email here in a minute. Okay, now this delivery page, you've got 2 options, right? You've got 2 options to deliver the content. You can actually deliver it at the point of confirmation, or you can deliver it in your email. Either way, you actually have the person then confirmed on your list. What you can do, though, is I personally like to send an email. And I like to send an email with something in it, well, definitely with a link in there. And I like to do that because I want people to be used to getting email from me. And you should be wanting people to do the same thing. And so in some cases, you don't want to deliver that. You don't want to deliver that. You don't want to deliver your what you promised them in the confirmation. Now I'll show you this here in a minute. Let's take a look at this. I'm actually going to come back to the dashboard. I'm going to come into the settings, and I'm going to go to permissions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at the confirmation page. So the confirmation page happens after the individual has clicked. I can either do a custom URL, or I can do a page hosted by GetResponse, Aweber, or our Autoresponder. Now, the custom URL will allow you to put an offer on your page, right, when they confirm. So I would personally want to make sure this person was already on my subscriber list before, number 1, I sent them to an offer, number 2, before, I have them wandering around on the page. Right, so the only thing I want them to see when they confirm is something like what GetResponse does or Aweber does. And some people feel like this is a waste. I do not feel it like it's a waste. It's a matter of trust. Right? I want them to see, okay, I have a legitimate autoresponder, and I want them to subscribe. That is all that I want them to do. And I now have them on my subscriber list. Everybody understand that? That's all I want from that page. I don't want to put a bunch of offers on that page when they confirm. I am going to send them offers, right? Because I've already done the freebie, but I don't want to do it here. Again, now this is a style issue though. And if you decide that what you want to do is you want them to click the confirm information, click the confirm link, and then see an offer, you can do that. Right? Your custom URL should then be your delivery page, and then people will actually see an offer there. But I want to make sure they're on my list already. Right? Okay, now this is something that you do want to do. You want to make sure you ask nicely your prospect to whitelist your email. Right, so they get it. Make sure to ask them to whitelist your email. Once again, very important if you can do it. Right, and again, it's just a very simple line. Now, give them a reason. Typically, one of the reasons that you want to give them is you're going to be giving them something else, and they're not going to get it if they don't whitelist it. So, in other words, if you're going to ask me to whitelist you for my email, what am I going to ask you? I'm going to ask you what's in it for me. So, and again, I'm not going to literally say that, but that's what's going on in my brain, and you have to then go and you have to give me a reason to want to whitelist you. Make sure you whitelist me so that you do not miss my 10 steps to PLR success, whatever yours is, whatever you're delivering. Make sure that you ask people to whitelist so they can get something, not just whitelist me because I'm cool, not just whitelist me because you're nice. Whitelist me because I've got something for you in the next email. Does that make sense? So if you get that, please put the number 7 in the question box if you get that. Okay, so the delivery page, now let's talk about the delivery page. Now the delivery page can be very simple. And again, I have a very simple delivery page, right? And I'll show you one here. I have a very simple delivery page. And actually, my delivery page is going to be pretty much the same, right? There's that delivery page. Now, where they're going to get that delivery page, they're going to find out about the delivery page. I'm not going to have them click into it. I'm going to have them find out about it in my first email. So let's talk about that. So you're going to want to go ahead and write your first email. This is going to be the email that people are going to get after they confirm. Right? Now, you did not give them the freebie. You didn't give them what you promised them. So now in this first email, this is where they're going to actually get the link to your freebie. Does that make sense? So again, now when you're writing this, don't waste a lot of time. Go ahead in the first paragraph or the second paragraph, tell them what this is about, tell them why they want to go ahead and get it, and then give it to them. So again, don't try not to put your offers all at the top and then put it there at the end. Once again, you're trying to establish a trust. You want to make sure to go ahead and give them the email with the content that you promised them. Again, so I said this first email should have your download link in the actual email. Okay, it should also be an introduction to you and your stuff. So this is where you tell them about who you are in your niche, what they can expect from you, why they should trust you, where they can get in contact with you. This is an orientation. This is a way of introducing yourself, your business, what it is you offer, what it is you give to them. You introduce yourself in this first email. Now, if you get that, put the number 8 in the question box. This is your chance to come to give people not just the impression of who you are. You want to tell people, and you want to be real in this email. Now, I don't mean that you want to make it a love letter. It should be a very real depiction of who you are and who you're going to be with them through your email. This is where you will want to offer some kind of value. So someplace in this email, you want to offer them some kind of additional value. Now again, they're getting the download link, but you should also provide some additional value. For example, do you do training? Where can they get a hold of that training? Have you done another guide where they can get? Where can they go and get all of your guides? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have a set of LinkedIn articles? Wherever it is that they can find some kind of value, you want to offer them some kind of value. Now, if you don't have anything, create something. That's what your PLR is for. Grab some PLR in your niche, right? Make sure it looks good, and then get it onto your blog. Again, sift through it to make sure that you've got good, solid information, but you want to be able to send people to something where they're going to get a taste of what kind of value you can offer. And this is important in that first email. You are establishing a trust. You might ask, what kind of trust? Well, the kind of trust that is, you're not going to waste my time, right? Or I'm not going to waste your time, right? That's the kind of trust. I'm going to give you the very best that I have. This is what your email should say to them indirectly, right? It ought to say to them, here's how life is going to be, right? I'm gonna give you something really cool, and I'm going to give you some information. Now, what you can also do in this email is you can explain a strategy, right? If you're sending a weight loss email, describe some kind of real tip they can use in order to make a particular diet work. Again, do something to provide some kind of value apart from the download link in your email. Now, this is what I like to do. And if you can do this, I think that this can be not only beneficial for you, but also a way of being able to help you to really understand who it is that opted in. I say, if possible, if you can, you should make a sincere effort to get to know them. Now, you might say, now, how am I going to do that if I get 100 people to opt in? Most people are not going to respond to you in this way. The people that do respond to you, get to know them, and then use them, in aggregate as a barometer for what other people in your niche think. Now, what do I mean by that? In addition to giving them the opportunity to get taking the opportunity, get to know them, offer them the opportunity to fill out a 5-minute survey. Now, some people are not going to be able, or not going to want to write you back. Right? They're not going to even want to write you back. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to give them an opportunity, right, to again tell you what it is that they're looking for by giving them some kind of survey. And Get Response actually offers you the opportunity to create a survey. Let me show you this. Right, so this is a list of surveys that I have created inside of Get Response. In order to create a survey, all you need to do, I'm going to open this in a new tab. So we give the survey a name, and we'll call this CPA Marketing Survey. And then we'll call it the very same title. We'll ask a brief question. How did you learn, how do you learn CPA marketing? We're going to ask for a double opt-in. I think that when you do a survey, you can pretty much just go for single opt-in. Hopefully you already have these people opted in. And then in your thank you description, if you're going to offer them some kind of incentive and you want to do this after the fact, don't do it before the fact. Do it after the fact, after they've completed, and then give them some kind of thank you. And then, of course, where you want to do is you want to send them to a thank you URL in this boat, right? So I'm going to just kind of put Google in here. And we're going to say you have 3 free documents or something. Or does everybody get what I did so far? So if you get what I did so far, please put the number 9 in the question box if you understand. If you don't, please feel free to step in, ask a question. There are no dumb questions here. So please feel free to go ahead and ask a question if you're not getting it. Right? If you're not getting it, put the number 1 in the question box. If you get it, put the number 9 there. Right? Okay, we're going to do now, I'm not going to put a logo there. I'm just going to now click next step. And then I'm going to ask several questions, right? So I'm now going to I'm going to now drag in a multiple choice question, but only one answer. So I'm going to write in here. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to write in here. I learned through a product. I'm going to write in. I learned through trial and error. And then you could probably say something like, I learned from a coach. Okay, we're going to say, we're going to call this question, how did you learn CPA marketing? Okay, and then you have your first question. And then what we can do is we can make this one required. We can have buttons. We can say out of all this, we want someone to choose one. And we're going to click Save. Okay, so that's our question. And okay, they can come and they can do a download. Now, when I get ready to deploy the survey, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my surveys list. Okay, this is still in draft mode, I guess. I need to go ahead and save it. Huh? I need to go back and save it. So we're going to save and publish the survey. Okay, so now that brings us here. And then this is the link that we're going to give people in order to take our survey. Right, so when they give them, we give them that link. This is what they're going to see. And they're required to fill this out. So we've given them choices. They're going to say, I learned from a coach. They're going to hit send. Right? Now, again, I didn't send them to a thank you page, but I could have. And that's where you are going to want to be creative about your surveys here. All right. Okay, you can also use SurveyMonkey. It does a lot of the same things. If you want to get deeper into how to funnel people to the right place using surveys, you can read the book by Ryan Levesque called Ask by Ryan Levesque. And that talks about how to use surveys to get people into the products that you want. Again, now it's an involved strategy, but it's one that has worked in multiple industries. So Ryan Levesque is probably one of the best teachers on that subject at this point right now. Right? Very compelling book. Even if you don't necessarily want to do it, it's a great book to read anyway. And that's what he does. He does what's called survey funnels, so that when you fill out a survey, based on the response that you give, you get sent to a certain page. Does that make sense? Right? So if you get that, put the number 1 in the question box. In other words, I decide to pick instead of deciding to pick answer A, I pick answer B. Well, because I picked answer B, I get sent to a certain page. Right? Then I get to branch out again. So then I get asked another question. Based on how I filled out that information, I get sent to either 1 or 2 places. So a survey will eventually get you to a very targeted answer, right, to your question. Right now, one of the other things you want to ask in that email that I like to personally ask is, what is your general area of expertise? What is your niche? And what's the biggest channel that challenge you're facing? Here's how I would ask that very question inside of the information marketing or the make money online niche. I would ask, and some of you all have seen this already, I will ask, number 1, what market or niche are you in? Number 2, what product do you sell, or what sub-niche are you in? And number 3, I will ask, what is the biggest challenge you're facing? Those 3 questions are the things that I will typically ask inside that first email, because I generally do want to know, right? And so what's going to happen is you're only going to have, I'd say, 1 out of every 20 people to respond to you. Now, the 1 out of 20 people who respond, you want to pay attention to what they're saying because they took the time to respond to you. Right? Any questions? Any questions so far? And that's pretty much what you're going to want to do. That is our webinar for tonight, actually, because in the next session, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about getting traffic. Your opt-in page is now set up. You have it set up so that it is automated, so that the customer actually gets the email from your delivery page and not your thank you page, and you have something now to test. You can start testing out whether or not people are getting to your offer, and whether or not people are opting in. Right? Any questions? Any questions on anything that we did tonight? Any questions? Okay, well, that's it for tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to get into traffic. Next week, we're actually going to go through what I call the buyer infiltration method, and we're going to go over some other ways for you to generate leads inside of your business, especially if you are in the make money online niche, or the information marketing niche is what I like to call it. Okay, so any questions? Any final questions? Okay, everybody, well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.